The world is full of wild places, but some call to you louder than others. Australia has always been one of those places for me. It is a land forged by fire and time. The thought of its vast deserts, its dense rainforests, and its rugged coastlines has always stirred something deep within me. It's a challenge, an invitation to test your limits against one of the planet's most formidable and ancient terrains. Tales of creatures that exist nowhere else on Earth. The call of Australia is the call of true unfiltered adventure. It is the unknown, the unpredictability, and the promise of experiences that will change you forever. The harsh conditions and the incredible beauty that awaits. And in Australia, it truly is. The plane began its descent. I pressed my face against the small window, trying to catch my first glimpse of the red continent. It was a deep, rusty red, burning under the intense sunlight. The vast ancient landmass spreading out below was like nothing I had ever seen. There were vast stretches of flat, arid land, cracked and dry. It was a stark and unforgiving vista, yet there was a profound beauty in its emptiness. The scale of it all was staggering. It makes you feel small, a tiny speck in a vast and ancient wilderness. As the wheels of the plane touched down on the runway, the real adventure was just beginning. I was here, on the ground, ready to explore its incredible secrets firsthand. The moment I stepped out of the airport, the air hit me. It was different. It was thick with the heat of the sun, but it also carried a unique scent. It was a dry, earthy smell, mixed with the faint, sweet fragrance of eucalyptus. This was the smell of the Australian bush. It was a scent that spoke of ancient trees, dry grasses, and a land baked by millennia of sunshine. I took a deep breath, filling my lungs with it. This was the first true sensory experience of Australia, and it was unforgettable. It was the smell of adventure, the perfume of a wild and untamed land. The sun felt different here too. It was incredibly intense, beating down with a strength I had rarely felt elsewhere. You could feel its power on your skin, a constant reminder of the harsh conditions that define this continent. It was not a gentle warmth. It was a fierce, powerful heat that demanded respect. I could immediately understand why survival in this environment is such a challenge. The sun is both a life-giver and a formidable opponent. Finding shade, conserving water, and protecting yourself from its rays are not just tips for comfort. They are essential rules for staying alive in the Australian wilderness. Looking around, everything seemed brighter, more vivid. The sky was a brilliant, almost impossibly deep blue, without a single cloud to break its perfect expanse. The colors of the landscape, even in the semi-urban airport surroundings, seemed more saturated. The green of the trees was a dusty olive green, a color that spoke of resilience and adaptation. The red earth peeked through everywhere, staining the sides of roads and the foundations of buildings. It felt like I had stepped into a world where the contrast dial had been turned all the way up. This land was not subtle. It was bold and unapologetic. Even the sounds were new and strange. The familiar chirping of European birds was replaced by a chorus of unfamiliar squawks and calls. The loud, laughing cry of a kookaburra echoed from a nearby tree, a sound that is quintessentially Australian. There was a constant low hum of insects, a background noise that told me the air was alive with creatures I had yet to meet. Every sense was being stimulated, overloaded with new information. This was total immersion. My journey had truly begun, not with a map or a compass, but with the first breath of bush air and the first sounds of the wild. Australia is a land of incredible contrasts. It has some of the driest deserts and lush tropical rainforests. This duality is at the heart of the Australian experience. It constantly surprises you, defying any single definition. The horizon is a powerful symbol in Australia. This land is ancient, and you can feel its age everywhere. It fosters a deep sense of respect and wonder for the natural world. This is the promise of Australia. Raw adventure and breathtaking beauty. The real journey was about to begin. The city was quickly behind me. The paved roads soon gave way to long, straight tracks of red dust. This was the real beginning. Driving into the Australian outback is like entering another world. The last signs of urban life vanished in my rearview mirror. Ahead, the horizon stretched out, vast and unbroken. The sky felt bigger here, more immense than anywhere else on Earth. The sun was relentless, beating down on the landscape. This is a place that demands respect from the moment you enter. It is not a place for the unprepared. My mission was simple: to journey into this red heart and understand its secrets. The vehicle kicked up a cloud of fine red dust that followed me like a shadow. For hours, the view was a constant, mesmerizing display of resilience. The vegetation was sparse but tough. Twisted acacia trees and hardy saltbush clung to the dry earth. They showed me how life adapts to survive in the harshest conditions. Every plant and every insect has a strategy. They have to. Out here, there is no room for error. The emptiness is deceptive. The landscape is alive, but its life is hidden, subtle, and incredibly tough. You have to look closely to see the signs of it. Water is everything in the outback. The search for it dictates the rhythm of life for every living thing. I passed dry riverbeds, their sandy bottoms cracked and baked by the sun. They were like ghostly maps of where water once flowed. Yet even here, life persists. Seeds lie dormant, waiting for the rare rain. Animals know how to find moisture in roots and leaves. Learning these skills is not just interesting, it is the key to survival. For me, every drop of water in my canteen was precious. It was a constant reminder of the fine line between life and death in this beautiful but unforgiving place. As the day wore on, the colors of the desert began to change. The harsh midday sun softened, casting long shadows across the land. The red of the earth deepened into a rich burnt orange. The sky shifted from a brilliant blue to shades of pink, purple, and gold. This was the magic hour in the outback. The heat of the day started to fade, and a different kind of life began to stir. The silence was profound, broken only by the hum of my engine and the whisper of the wind. I was heading deeper into the wilderness, further from my world, and closer to the ancient pulse of this land. After days of travel, I saw it. Uluru, a mountain rising from the desert floor. Its sheer size and presence are overwhelming. No photo can prepare you for it. Walking its base, you see grooves, caves, and colors that shift with the light. At sunset, Uluru blazes a brilliant red, an unforgettable sight. This place is sacred to the Anangu people. Every feature tells a story from the dream time. As night falls, the silence and stars create a profound sense of connection to the land and its ancient history. Standing beside Uluru, I felt adventure in its purest form. Outback towns are lifelines, small, resilient communities in the vast emptiness. The local pub is the heart, filled with stories and camaraderie. Here you meet weathered locals and fellow travelers, all shaped by the land. Life moves slowly, dictated by the sun and heat. Community is everything. People look out for each other on these long, dusty roads. Staying here reveals a life stripped to essentials: self-reliance, practical skills, and deep respect for the environment. Leaving, I carried a new respect for those who thrive in this wild frontier. The outback holds the world's oldest living culture, Aboriginal history etched in rock art and sacred sites. Ancient paintings tell stories of creation, survival, and spiritual connection. Guided by elders, I learned to read the land and its stories. Every lesson revealed a deeper harmony with nature. The Dreamtime isn't just myth, it's a living force shaping the land and its people. Traveling here means moving through a living story, not just a landscape. The Outback's true challenge is understanding its spirit. The Outback teems with life: red kangaroos, nocturnal marsupials, and ingenious reptiles. Each animal is a master of survival, adapted to heat and scarcity. I tracked bilbies, watched thorny devils collect dew, and marveled at wedge-tailed eagles soaring above. Even the dangerous creatures like venomous snakes are vital to this ecosystem. Bird song and color fill the air, from budgerigars to kookaburras. Observing these creatures is a lesson in nature's ingenuity. Sharing their world, even briefly, was a privilege. Leaving the outback for the city is a shock. Red earth replaced by steel and glass. The city pulses with energy, diversity, and a different kind of wildness. Survival here means navigating crowds, streets, and cultures. I explored markets, laneways, and hidden corners, seeking the city's true stories. Urban life is its own adventure, demanding curiosity and adaptability. Beneath the surface, every city has secrets waiting for explorers. My journey had shifted, but the spirit of adventure remained. Sydney is defined by its harbour, sparkling water, iconic landmarks, and outdoor life. But beyond the postcard views lies a grittier, creative side in neighbourhoods like Newtown and Surrey Hills. The city's duality is its strength. Wild coastal walks by day, vibrant urban culture by night. History lingers in the rocks, where old streets whisper tales of convicts and survival. Sydney's beauty is matched by its tough, resilient spirit. Exploring both faces reveals the city's true character. Here, nature and urban grit coexist, shaping a city like no other. Some adventures are about conquering mountains. This one was about conquering a mountain of steel, the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You can climb it. It's the ultimate urban expedition. After a safety briefing and special suit, you ascend through the bridge's interior. Then you emerge onto the main arch. The city spreads out below. The view is breathtaking. You feel like you are on top of the world. You stand on the highest point with a 360-degree view of Sydney. It's an urban adventure you will never forget. If Sydney is all about the sun and the harbour, Melbourne is about what's hidden. It's a city that doesn't reveal all its secrets at once. You have to earn them. The real soul of Melbourne is found in its famous laneways. These are narrow alleys that crisscross the city grid, once used for service and deliveries. Today, they have been transformed into vibrant arteries of culture. Walking into a laneway is like stepping into another world. The noise of the main street fades, replaced by the clatter of coffee cups, the buzz of conversation, and the hiss of an espresso machine. It's an intimate and exciting world waiting to be discovered. The walls of these laneways are open-air art galleries. They are covered from top to bottom in an ever-changing collage of street art. Stencils, paste-ups, murals, and graffiti create a riot of color and creativity. You can spend hours just wandering through these alleys, discovering new pieces of art around every corner. Some are political, some are humorous, and some are just breathtakingly beautiful. This art is not permanent. A masterpiece you see one day might be painted over the next. It's a living, breathing expression of the city's creative spirit. It makes exploring the city feel like a treasure hunt. Melbourne's culture is legendary, especially its coffee and food. The laneways are packed with tiny cafes, each one claiming to have the best brew in the city. The baristas are artists, taking immense pride in their craft. Grabbing a coffee here is not just a morning routine, it's a cultural ritual. The food scene is just as impressive. Hidden behind unassuming doors in these narrow alleys, you can find some of the best restaurants in the country. From hole-in-the-wall dumpling houses to high-end dining experiences, the laneways offer a taste of the entire world. Finding a great meal here feels like a personal discovery. The city has a different rhythm from Sydney. It feels more European, more focused on arts and culture. I spent an evening listening to live music in a smoky basement bar, a place I only found by following a muffled guitar riff down a dark alley. I explored the massive Queen Victoria Market, a bustling hub of fresh produce, shouting vendors, and delicious street food. Melbourne encourages you to get lost. It rewards curiosity. It's a city that you need to explore on foot, with no set plan. Just turn down a laneway and see where it takes you. That's where you will find the true heart of Melbourne. Australians are passionate about sports. It's a huge part of the national identity. To truly understand the culture of an Australian city, you have to experience this passion firsthand. In Melbourne, this means going to a game of Australian rules football, or footy. It's a sport unlike any other, fast, chaotic, and incredibly athletic. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, or MCG, is the spiritual home of the sport. It's a colossal stadium that can hold over 100,000 people. On game day, the entire city seems to converge on this one spot, dressed in the colours of their teams. The atmosphere is electric. I went to a match between two fierce local rivals. The sense of anticipation before the game was immense. Families, friends, and co-workers become tribal rivals for a few hours. The roar of the crowd when the teams run onto the field is a physical force. It's a sound that you feel in your chest. The game itself is a spectacle of skill and courage. Players leap high into the air to catch the ball, tackle with incredible force, and run non-stop for 2 hours. You don't need to understand all the rules to get swept up in the drama and the raw emotion of the contest. The crowd is a huge part of the experience. They ride every high and low of the game. They gasp at a near miss. They shout advice to the players, and they erupt in pure joy when their team scores a goal. It's a shared experience that connects tens of thousands of strangers. You feel a powerful sense of community, of belonging to something bigger than yourself. Sharing a meat pie, a footy tradition, with the fan next to me, I felt like a local. We were united by the drama unfolding on the field. It's a side of urban life that is just as wild and untamed as any outback encounter. After the final siren, the crowd spills out of the stadium, either celebrating a victory or debating a loss. The energy carries on into the streets, the pubs, and the trams. This is where you see the city's heart on its sleeve. This passion is not just for sport. It's a passion for life, for community, and for shared experience. Whether climbing a bridge in Sydney or joining the roar of the crowd in Melbourne, I learned that Australian cities are not just places on a map. They are arenas of human adventure, full of their own unique challenges, rituals, and unforgettable moments of triumph. After the city, I craved the coast. My mission, the Great Ocean Road. It's an adventure carved into Australia's southern coastline. The road twists, hugging cliffs that plunge into the wild Southern Ocean. This drive demands your full attention. The deep blue ocean crashes relentlessly against the shore. Built by returned soldiers after World War I, it's a memorial in every bend. Driving it feels like piloting on the edge of the world. Frequent stops are a must. I pulled over at lookouts and hiked to secluded beaches. This journey is to be savored. The highlight, the 12 Apostles. These massive limestone stacks rise majestically from the sea. You're witnessing the slow, unstoppable force of nature at work. This drive was a perfect transition from the city back into the wild. The adventure included the incredible marine life of the cold, rich waters. I joined an expedition to find the largest animal on the planet, the blue whale. It was immense, a vast blue-gray back arching gracefully. With a final flick of its tail, it dove deep, disappearing from sight. The encounter left a permanent mark, a reminder of the wonders beneath the waves. Seeing one in its natural habitat is a call to protect these wild spaces. From the rugged southern coast, I traveled north to the Gold Coast. Famous for its beaches and surf breaks, this is the heart of Australian beach culture. I faced a new challenge, surfing these famous waves. It was a lesson in humility. The ocean taught me to be patient and balanced. Finally, I caught a wave. It was exhilarating, a moment of connection. Adventure isn't always about conquering, but adapting. My coastal journey continued north to Queensland. Here lies the Great Barrier Reef, the largest living structure on Earth, so vast it can be seen from space. To truly experience it, you have to go beneath the surface. Slipping into the water was like entering another dimension. The world exploded in color, a vibrant city of life. A majestic sea turtle glided past. The reef is facing serious threats from climate change and pollution. It is a call to protect this incredible natural treasure for future generations. My final coastal adventure took me to the Whitsunday Islands. This is a stunning archipelago of 74 islands, scattered like jewels in the coral sea. They are the peaks of submerged mountains, fringed with brilliant white sand beaches, and surrounded by the turquoise waters of the Great Barrier Reef. The best way to explore this area is by boat. I joined a small sailing crew, leaving the mainland behind for a few days of life on the water. The rhythm of life changes instantly when you are on a sailboat. Your schedule is dictated by the wind, the tides, and the rising and setting of the sun. It is a simpler, more elemental way of living. We sailed from one island to another, dropping anchor in secluded bays each evening. The days were spent exploring. We snorkeled in hidden coves, discovering more of the reef's incredible marine life. We hiked up to lookout points that offered panoramic views of the islands, a stunning vista of green land, white sand, and 1,000 shades of blue water. We would sit on the deck in the evenings, watching the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery colors. With no light pollution, the stars were incredibly bright, and the Southern Cross was our constant companion in the night sky. One of the most unforgettable places was Whitehaven Beach. It is famous for its sand, which is 98% pure silica. It is so fine that it squeaks when you walk on it, and it is so brilliantly white that it almost hurts your eyes. I walked barefoot along its 7-kilometer stretch, the soft sand cool under my feet despite the tropical sun. I swam in the crystal clear, shallow water, feeling completely immersed in the pristine natural beauty of the place. It felt like a paradise, a corner of the world that has remained untouched and perfect. It is a place that cleanses the soul and resets your perspective. Life on the boat was a great lesson in teamwork and self-sufficiency. We were a small crew on a small vessel in a vast ocean. We had to work together to hoist the sails, navigate the waters, and prepare our meals. It fostered a strong sense of camaraderie. We were all sharing this incredible adventure, disconnected from the distractions of the modern world. This journey through the Whitsundays was the perfect end to my coastal exploration. It was a reminder that sometimes the greatest adventures are not about conquering great challenges, but about slowing down, connecting with nature, and simply living in the moment. Adventure is about the people you meet. In Australia, vast distances create powerful bonds. One night I saw a campfire and approached cautiously. I found a local family who welcomed me to their fire. A shared fire means a shared space. The crackle of the flames and the starry sky did most of the talking. They passed me tea, a simple gesture that meant everything. We were strangers, but the shared experience broke down barriers. The heart of Australia is in its people, their generosity and resilience. I left with a grateful heart. The Roadhouse, an essential outback institution, a lonely outpost of fuel, food, and shelter. These places are magnets for interesting characters, and listening to the conversations is an education. Truckies swap stories, grey nomads plan their next stop, and the owner, Brenda, has seen it all. They are the arteries of the continent. In these places, everyone has a story to share. Leaving, you feel connected to the tough, resourceful people who keep the heart of this vast country beating. It is a raw and authentic slice of Australian life. To truly understand Australia, you must connect with its first people. The Aboriginal culture is the oldest continuous culture on Earth. I had the privilege of spending time with Jimmy, an Aboriginal elder in Arnhem Land. He called it walking the land, showing me how to see the world through his eyes. The land was a living family member. Every feature had a story, a meaning, and a lesson. The wilderness was a supermarket and a pharmacy to him. He taught me about caring for country, not owning it, but belonging to it. The most profound lesson was about listening. It was a fundamental shift in my perspective. The oldest knowledge is often the wisest. Australian hospitality is unique. Often it's quiet, practical, and deeply genuine, like the farmer who stops to ask if you have enough water, or the fisherman who offers you his fresh catch. This warmth is a recurring theme throughout any journey across this continent. The driver didn't even ask if I needed help. He simply said, "No worries, mate," and drove off. This attitude of no worries is central to the Australian character. This hospitality is the glue that holds the Australian travel experience together. You come for the landscapes and wildlife, but you leave with memories of the people. It's an unspoken welcome that makes you feel at home. In Australia, the weather can change your plans in an instant. I was deep in the Queensland interior when the sky turned against me. On the horizon, I saw a smudge of grey. It grew with alarming speed. It was a tropical downpour. The track I was following dissolved into a river of thick red mud. My vehicle was now useless, completely bogged. This was a classic survival scenario. The first priority was shelter and waiting for the storm to pass. It was a powerful lesson in patience and respect. It was a reminder that in Australia, the land and the sky make the rules. Not all of Australia's challenges come from heat and dust. The Daintree rainforest in the far north is another world entirely. It's one of the oldest rainforests on Earth, a dense green labyrinth. I went in to explore this incredible ecosystem, a place where the jungle meets the reef. It's easy to become disoriented, a place of incredible beauty, but also of potential danger. My goal was to track a cassowary. I looked at my compass and realized I had become turned around. I was lost. Your mind can start to race, imagining the worst. You have to shut that down. I stopped, took a deep breath, and drank some water. I knew the creek would eventually lead to a larger river, and the river would lead to the coast. Slowly and carefully, I began to backtrack, following the creek downstream. I was back on the path. Getting lost in the Daintree was a humbling experience. The Australian coastline is stunning, but ruled by powerful tides. In the northwest, the tidal range is enormous, over 10 meters. This creates a shifting landscape and brings dangers. I explored a remote Kimberley coast, hiking beaches accessible only at low tide. Precise timing is crucial. Misjudging it could trap you. I underestimated the ocean's return. Rounding a headland, I saw the tide creeping back. I raced the ocean to a narrow gully exit. Water swirled around my ankles. I pushed on through the rising water. Reaching the gully, I pulled myself up as a wave crashed where I'd been. I was safe, a stark reminder of the tide's power. Obey the moon's timetable to explore these wild coastlines. Every adventure leaves its mark, sometimes physical like scratches. I've picked up scars from travels around the world. Each one is a souvenir, a reminder of challenges faced. Not signs of failure, but badges of experience. The most important souvenirs get etched into your character. These experiences change you. After you've been truly thirsty, you never take a glass of clean water for granted again. Ultimately, personal growth is the true purpose of adventure. Australia is the perfect training ground for that. You take a piece of its ancient, resilient spirit with you forever. A journey through Australia eventually comes to an end. The time comes to pack your bags, to leave the red dust and the turquoise waters behind. But Australia is not a place you can simply leave. It follows you. The echo of the wilderness stays with you long after you have boarded the plane home. It is in the memory of the vast, silent outback night. It is in the sound of the kookaburra's laugh. This land imprints itself on your soul. It becomes a part of who you are. I find myself thinking about the sheer scale of it all, the endless horizons that stretch out forever, making you feel both incredibly small and infinitely free. That feeling is something you carry with you. When you are back in the crowded world, the memory of that space is a powerful antidote. It reminds you that there is a bigger, wilder world out there. It is a mental touchstone you can return to when you need to find perspective. The challenges of everyday life seem a little less daunting when you have stood before the immensity of Uluru. The moments of pure, unfiltered awe are what I will remember most. These are experiences that have fundamentally changed the way I see the world. These are the treasures you bring back from an adventure, more valuable than any souvenir. This journey was a reminder of what truly matters. The echo of the wilderness is a constant call to live more simply, more bravely, and more gratefully. There is a saying that you get the red dust of the outback in your veins. This continent has a way of getting under your skin, both literally and figuratively. The fine red dust seems to find its way into everything. Australia changes your perspective. You learn to see the world differently. The journey fills you with a sense of profound respect for the oldest living culture on Earth. The combination of its raw, powerful nature, its unique wildlife, and its deep, ancient human history creates a potent mix that leaves a lasting impression. It truly gets under your skin and stays there forever, a constant invitation to return. For any adventurer, the world is full of places that test your skills. But Australia is unique. It is the ultimate proving ground. It offers such a diverse range of challenges that it is like several different expeditions rolled into one. One week you can be testing your desert survival skills in the searing heat of the red center. The next, you can be navigating the dense, disorienting jungle of a tropical rainforest. Then you might find yourself battling the powerful surf of the Gold Coast, or navigating the treacherous tides of the Kimberley. This continent will test every skill you have, and it will force you to learn new ones. The mental challenge is just as great as the physical one. The sheer isolation of many parts of Australia can be a heavy weight. When you are hundreds of kilometers from the nearest town, you have to be completely self-reliant. There is no quick rescue if things go wrong. This forces you to be meticulous in your planning, to think ahead, and to be prepared for any eventuality. It also tests your mental fortitude. You have to be comfortable with your own company, able to stay calm under pressure, and resourceful when faced with unexpected problems. Australia forges a mindset of quiet confidence and resilience. This is why I believe Australia is a must-visit destination for anyone who seeks true adventure. It is not a place that has been completely tamed or sanitized for tourism. The wildness is still there, right at the surface. You do not have to go far to find it. This makes the rewards all the greater. When you successfully navigate a difficult track, find your way through a challenging landscape, or handle a close encounter with its powerful wildlife, the sense of accomplishment is immense. It is a genuine achievement, earned through skill, courage, and respect for the environment you are in. The country provides a perfect stage for personal growth. It pushes you to your limits, and in doing so, it shows you what those limits are. More often than not, you find that you are stronger and more capable than you ever believed. You leave with a new level of self-awareness and a deeper trust in your own abilities. It is a journey that builds character. Whether you are a seasoned explorer or someone taking their first steps into the world of adventure, Australia has a challenge waiting for you. It is a place to prove yourself not to others, but to the most important person, yourself. My journey across Australia may be over for now, but the adventure itself never truly ends. This is the magic of a place so vast and so diverse. I feel like I have only scratched the surface. It is a lifelong invitation to explore. Go to Australia with an open mind, a respectful heart, and a spirit of curiosity. The real magic of Australia is found when you step just outside your comfort zone. That is where the unforgettable moments happen. Australia is a land that promises true, raw, and unforgettable experiences. And that is a journey that truly never ends.